Donna Brown-Newton is a lifelong Mount Pleasant resident who's concerned about the future of the town. And that's why she's running for Charleston County Council's District 1 seat. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with Donna one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores.
Well, Donna, it's so good to see you.
Hi, well, nice meeting you too, Quintin.
I appreciate this. Well, you know, I reached out to you last week, and I know that you're running for, obviously, Charleston County Council District 1.
Correct.
And I know on March 28th, you went up to the road to North Charleston to basically file to be a candidate.
I did. It was so exciting and nervous and challenging all at the same time.
Wow.
So it was a great experience just to be able to go and do that and make that first step to running for county council.
What steps did you take to come to this conclusion to run for Charleston County Council?
Well, I've lived in Charleston County practically all my life. And I see a lot of things go on, and with the residents there, Charleston County is one of the largest counties in South Carolina. It spans over 100 miles from Owen to Hollywood. And I feel that in the Mount Pleasant area where I live at, our voice is not being heard. We're not really being represented as we should be in the Mount Pleasant area. So it made me decide that, you know what, instead of talk about it, be about it, and go and do what needs to be done to try to create some change in the Mount Pleasant area.
You talk about District 1, obviously that includes a large portion of Mount Pleasant, and this is according to Mutual News, mostly from the north side of Johnny Dodds Boulevard, from the Ravenel Bridge, all the way to the Wanda River at Sealy Road. And I know your opponent, Herb Sass, who's currently on Charleston County Council, he basically wants to improve traffic and infrastructure, economic development, and protecting our environment and quality of life. Tell me, what are your biggest challenges in your mind?
Well, right now, I understand where he's coming from. Traffic is a big issue in Mount Pleasant because of the constant growth. We have so much growth in Mount Pleasant that a lot of people are being overlooked because they're growing these big office buildings, they're growing these big apartment complexes. But what happens is when they're building, which is wonderful, they're doing this, but it's not helping the people in Mount Pleasant. Not the vast majority of people in Mount Pleasant, because what it is, they can't afford to live in the homes that's built there, because the homes they build are basically out of their economic reach, because most people in Mount Pleasant, in Charleston period, makes an average of $50,000 a year. And the homes, some of the apartments and townhouses they're renting, normally starts at about anywhere between $2,000 and on up just to rent. So my goal is to keep the growth. I don't mind growth coming, slow it down a little bit, make it more affordable for people to come there and live and grow up and build homes. Because for me personally, as a resident of Mount Pleasant, if I hadn't been there for generations, with my family being there, I would not be able to afford to live in Mount Pleasant, which is ridiculous when you can't even live where you work at.
You know, when I interviewed Thomas Stokes Marshall for Quintin's Close-Ups several times, we talked about affordable housing. Where are you with this discussion?
I am for affordable housing. It needs to be had, especially Mount Pleasant, because the homes are prices out of range. People who long-term residents can't afford to live there. Once their children finish school, right, they can't afford to even come back home and live. They have to either go to North Charleston, Goose Creek, Somerville's now up and coming. Those are areas people who live in Mount Pleasant have to go, the young people have to go to live.
And obviously, if you were to be elected on county council, there's so much talk about 526 and expanding into Johns Island. And I know that you know a lot of people who live out there. What goes to your mind when you think of the expansion of 526?
Well, I only tell you what happened in Mount Pleasant. I live on Long Point Road, which is affected by 526. Right. So if the same effect happened to the people in Johns Island and James Island, it sounds like it's a good idea. It opens you up to more able to get from Johns Island to downtown to North Charleston more quickly. But what price do you pay? You pay the price of not being able to drive in the morning because the traffic is so ridiculous. So I'm sort of on the fence. I believe that 526 should be expanded, but to what degree, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still trying to work out the issues and figure out how it's going to get paid for, how it's going to affect the people in the community. Those are my main concerns right now with 526 expanding.
And I know you talked a little bit about North Charleston, but there's so much issues going on with the Naval Hospital. If county council were to redesign that, how should the Naval Hospital look like in your mind?
Well, as large as it is, it can be turned into, like what they did with the old federal building downtown, not an expensive rental property, but affordable rental property for residents to be able to afford and live in nice environments. It's a nice building. It's not even that old. The building's been built in, I think it was 1970. I'm not exactly sure the date, but anyhow, it's a nice building, nice property. So you go towards some affordable landscape, people to be able to live and grow in the area.
And I know that your appointment obviously wants to talk about quality life. What is your definition of quality life when you think of Mount Pleasant?
Being able to live and work and get around in the community that you can still enjoy the benefits of being able to walk to a store, walk to a movie theater, or even get a bus. Quality life for me is that I drive, but some people don't drive. Right. So not being able to get out to go places without having to have a car is considered a good quality of life for me.
And you go to my next point, public transportation. Is that dead or alive in Mount Pleasant in your mind?
It shouldn't be. It's a big issue, I think, in Mount Pleasant. I think if more people had the opportunity to get around with public transportation, I think they'll be able to use it better. They had public transportation, they had more buses running in Mount Pleasant area before, people wasn't using it. That only lasted maybe 6 months. They didn't give it long enough time people to realize that the bus will be coming and the schedule comes. The schedule I have right now, the bus only comes once every other hour or so, which makes it inconvenient to even use. So people don't use the bus that they can't because it's not readily available to use. So instead of using the bus, they either get Uber or Lyft to go places. Right. When you should be able to have shopping centers in Mount Pleasant, I think the residents of Mount Pleasant should be able to get on the bus and go shopping and know the bus should be there with at least an hour or 30 minutes. Should be regular bus routes should be available for the residents of Mount Pleasant.
And obviously, if you were to be elected on county council, you would have to work somehow with Mount Pleasant, the town of Mount Pleasant. Talk to me about how your relationship will be with them.
Well, I'd like to have a working relationship. Right now, the town of Mount Pleasant governs a lot of the unincorporated area and Mount Pleasant area. And so to work with them to understand that all areas in Mount Pleasant, even those unincorporated areas, are still part of the community. And anything that happens with the town, it impacts us, whether we have a voice in it or not, because unincorporated areas are not able to vote in the town elections. Right. So that makes a big hamper into who we get in public office in Mount Pleasant. So I would like to work with them to understand that there need to be a better understanding communication with the unincorporated areas in Mount Pleasant, because even though we're not a part of the township, we're still a very valuable part to the community.
You talk about unincorporated areas of Mount Pleasant. Are you scared of growth?
No, I'm not afraid of growth. I believe in growth. People in the community are reluctant to be a part of the township. Everybody has their own personal reason not being a part of the town of Mount Pleasant. I don't know what everybody's reason is, but each person grapples with that differently as far as why they're not a part of the town of Mount Pleasant. Growth is good. People just lack of trust, I think it is. I think we had more trust in that the town would actually listen and be to some of the needs of the town, the people in the area. I think more people will be involved, be inclined to be a part of the town of Mount Pleasant.
Let me reset and talk about you. Donna Brown-Newton. Who are you?
Well, I am a single mother. I have 4 lovely children and 7 grandkids.
Wow. I
work for Charleston County School District. I've been employed there for over 25 years. And I've been administrative assistant in the guidance office. The majority of the time I've been with Charleston County School District.
Wow. So if you were to go to knock on a voter's door tomorrow, what would you tell them about you?
I would tell them that I am a person that, I'm not a politician. That's first and foremost. But I am here to listen and to carry your needs forward to represent you, not just, even though I'll be representing District 1, but I'll be able to represent, I want to represent the whole of Charleston County. So I want to be the voice for the voices, for the people who just not able to talk about the needs that may seem small to organization as far as public office. Just be a voice for the people who don't have a voice.
That's so good to hear. Well, Donna Brown-Newton, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
Well, thank you, Quintin. I'm hoping that I'll get to know you a little better and see you again sometime.
Oh yeah, we'll do another interview.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.